In the coastal city of Mombasa, Lucy Wawero, a lawyer, lodged a complaint with regard to a 2-year delay in the registration of her non-governmental organization, the Friends for Life Foundation, despite having supplied all the requisite documents. The commission made inquiries to the Non-Governmental Organizations Coordination Board, and eventually Lucy was issued with a certificate of registration.
Back in 2011, we started the process of registering it. So we would prepare the forms, then we lodge them with the NGO board for registration. Then they would always find a mistake, this or that, the signatures do not look alike. We did that for a number of, like 4 or 5 times, where we would submit the forms, they would be returned for this. Apparently, at some point, they even were asking for a bribe. That's when now I decided to lodge a complaint with the Commission on Administrative Justice. The Commission wrote a letter to the NGO board outlining my complaints. And I was also given a copy of that letter. And about 2.5 weeks later, the organization got its certificate of registration.
Lawrence Ondiele also has a similar story to tell.
We submitted our application some time back, and we were told that within about 3 months or 6, we should be getting our certificate. Again, it was a story. I went to that office 4 consecutive days, from morning to evening. From morning to evening. They are opening when I'm there and closing when I'm there. First, I went to anti-corruption. Then they advised me to come to Ombudsman's office. So that is how I got assisted.
A conflict between a community in Rarieda, the Uyoma Water and Sanitation Project, and Kenya Power Company was on the other hand resolved through mediation by the Ombudsman. The community lodged a complaint of a disconnection of their power supply on grounds of inflated electricity bill.
The bill of the electric consumption was rising very fast. It reached a time we couldn't make it at all. We had to contact the office of the Ombudsman, and they agreed that they could mediate between us and the power people. And we renegotiated how we could now pay it at a renegotiated deal or rate. And we are paying for that one. So now the Uyoma people are getting their water regularly. They are very happy with it.
In spite of the many successful resolved cases, working for the Office of the Ombudsman is no mean task.
One of the challenges that we have experienced as a commission is unresponsiveness by public institutions. A number of them don't respond to inquiries that we make, and even in cases where we request them to appear before us, some of them are reluctant.
One challenge that persists is the challenge of impunity and resistance. We find that in this country, for the longest time, various persons, especially high-ranking public officers, came to believe that they could do anything or fail to do anything and there would be no consequences. We have endeavored to make sure that people understand that there's a consequence to every action or inaction. And we have done this, including by writing to the President on a number of occasions, and to cabinet secretaries and principal secretaries and judges and all other senior ranking public officials. Impunity ultimately is a challenge that can only be overcome with our collective effort, not just of this office.
There are sometimes we find very hostile public officers who completely refuse us opportunity to interview them. Some quotas claim not to understand or to understand the work of the Ombudsman. Some are actually ignorant. Others just want to make life complicated for the Commission. The public service is wide. That means the ratio, again, the investigators vis-a-vis the public sector, there is a little bit of a problem in that the numbers are low and the work volume is quite involving.
The other challenge has been the challenge of funding. It is a challenge that we hope we will overcome. The funding levels have improved. They are still not ideal. Our staff complement is at 100. The approved complement should be 320. We hope that we will get to that time when we will be at full capacity and we will have a presence in each and every county. The third challenge is the legal framework, the question of enforcement. While this challenge has not been that acute, it remains open to improvement, and we have made necessary proposals to the Attorney General to introduce legislative changes to our Act. The fourth challenge is a challenge that relates to our own success, and that is the high expectations of Kenyans. In the 2.5 years, we have increased the number of complaints from about 1,000 a year to about 18,000 a year. And with that increase in number of complaints has been the increase in expectation by the citizens. The citizens expect that once they lodge the complaint with us, within the shortest time, it will have been resolved. It is a challenge, but it is a challenge we expect, for we believe that the more the complaints we receive, the higher the public confidence in us. The last challenge is the challenge of decentralization of offices. We know that we ought to be present in every county, but we know we have not been present so far.
However, Kenyans must continue to lodge their complaints against public servants and public offices to the offices of the Ombudsman located in Nairobi, Mombasa and Kisumu, and at the Huduma centers all over the country.